The Woe of Roanoke, Book 4, Dimmock's Yellow Diary. And then a shout of "Land ahoy!" Oh, how we thumped our backs with joy. All old rifts were healing over. We cheered as if the cliffs of Dover. It was a good and godly sight, the first my glimpse upon the mighty America, our task to master. The pastors prayed us from disaster. My heart in flutter with the honour, proud to represent the crown. A rush to rowboats on thrown ropes, the sailors helped to swing us down. We rowed onto the Roanoke, we blessed, we chosen few, exulted every oarstroke, propelled towards our noble coup. 'Twas far away from Chesapeake Bay, but ranked our happiest times. We beached the craft, then walked our way through many mystic pines. The scent of pines, exciting times, we stumbled on the fort. Now but that spoke of crimes that caused this post's abort. Dwellings down, vacated, cinders signalled torching. I felt a wraith's stirred hatred that spelt an omen warning. Where were the men of earlier, where Francis Drake's slaves? The mystery far murkier than those encircled waves. We whittled all the woods around for signs of Grenville's men, but little there and little found, and little did we ken. Little did we ken, but we, safe and sound ashore, we'd conquered the Atlantic Sea, which filled with dogged velour. We'd conquered and we'd brought the Lord to where the Lord was not. We claimed it by his righteous sword and hallowed first this plot. A vote was cast, we'd stay a while, convert this spot to Zion. We'd stay upon this Archine isle and scorn the stinking lion. The lion that felt like the pit, tight tempers running raw. A bastard pilot in the ship, a fiend locked in the store. But here we were as men reborn in lands that we felt free. Trees were felled and logs were sawn in England's colony. Plans were drawn for babies born to grow this new country, though fingers torn to plant the corn for rain we did not see. A man feels much a greater man if artisan is he. Our souls were fed by tools in hand, erect for family. The sun shone on our faces, God shone in the breast. We habituated places that God had placed to test. And we were gay, contented, as we worked the day like mules. We believed we heaven-scented as we toiled with our tools. At night, the sky awash with stars, white told of past narratives. By firelight he'd paint the sight of fights and friendly natives. He'd paint exotic pictures of the red man's size and girth. We pure quoted scriptures, both sides blessed the birth, blessed Eleanor, his daughter, and of the country's Christian first. Some say they saw a future fate forged in those flaming embers. This land, the crowns, we'd consecrate by our committed members. A miracle! The flyboat sailed on Spicer's navigation. God was praised and Jesus hailed. We jumped with jubilation. Our companions thus united in a fortified bubble. We planned Manteo knighted to negate the native trouble. With muskets, swords and pointed stakes, felt safe within, secure. We'd shoot the deer and fish the lakes, with faith we would endure. But still no drops for soil to slake, dropped from the clear azure. No rain to rake for crops to take, though prayed for by us pure. We evolved a peaceful Protestant town, assembled in high humour. And then a shout of, "Where is Howe?" We rushed around the rumour. We rushed to searched and called and climbed tree tops for 40 acres. We prodded bush, big bang sticks primed, hill tops to bluffs and breakers. Poor George Howe was found somehow, brought back atop a barrow. His physog mashed, his body slashed and porcupined with arrows. His pin-covered figure, disfigured by wicker, was a mesh of whip-cut welts. Rusty strands clenched in raw hands, I'd swear were the strands of the Celts. Oh, the panic that befell the camp, a blizzard bit, devoid of damp, I knew, but dared not say aloud. Red-soaked cyclone struck without a cloud. Panic hit the crowd some more, by clouds of crows with kill in core. No more a place of innocence, tranquility was broke. Vendetta-fueled militants scoured the Roanoke. In John White fell a red mist, he bayed for the blood of the brutes. In his hapless luck and temper twist, they maimed Manteo's troops. And now no Indian ally, and I foresaw much, much worse. and I fret to stay and dally, but to scuttle from the curse. Oh, the terrors when I shut my lids, the horrors haunting me. I dreamt the murders of the kids, I craved a boisterous sea. I begged be off, be to the bay, but 'twas a big conundrum, as Blue Bill Brown was in the way, more dread than what I'd run from. We buried Howe in a shallow shrine, dry dirt was heat-baked dust. Belatedly White saw the sign, and signalled a move was a must. "No," said the swine, leant o'er the bow, "this is where thou'll keep." "How," said I, "is the state of that boy?" "Why, I put him ashore last week." White roared the defraud of the declared debt, then ordered the road to the fort. I sobbed and begged till the sun had set, offered vast awards for transport. I paid him much, a whole year's wage of a merchant in the city, whilst in my ears there rang the rage of the departing committee. I foot a fine to the eager swine, now I bunked in John White's quarters, and I spelt the sign that it passed the time to leave these malignant waters. A rabid rook of Roanoke flew round to mocketh me. The goading rook and abode in smoke imprisoned me at sea. The bastard crow with its bastard caw, its cause most gross and ribald, it seared my mind, so I sealed my door with pages ripped from my Bible. I careth not a raindrop fell, or of Virginia's christening, for it ushered in an utter hell, lured God away from listening. I saw well enough from my sealed room, saw White in his desperation, saw the colony's impending doom, prophesied from my hibernation. The cursed crow came till I went insane, to squawk along my sill. I ill with pain as it squawked the name of the nemesis name of Bill. John White pleaded every day, a passage to replenish stocks, and every day the swine said, "Nay, you'll stay here on these rocks." I urged speed off, we'd woke the wrath of some ungodly gin. We'd caused a chasm by the anti-Adam, took evil to Eden to sin. Oh, dear Lord, let this nightmare cease, I implore you, Christ Almighty. I'll pray all day, the demise of the beast, if you'd grease the path to Blighty. An answering nor'easter gale drove us from the cursed coast. The lion sailed as my prayers prevailed upon the Holy Ghost. Ye gods, we bobbed like brandy corks, but all my prayers and all my thoughts went to repatriate in English ports, to escape the toxic pirate fort, and sail away from stinking tenures. The swines talk still of stealing ventures. The weather calmed, the sea fared to nicer, the flyboat neared with Edward Spicer. I clocked to the noble captain's right, proud on the prow stood Governor White. Bless be Spicer, bless his eyes, for taking White to get supplies. Spicer exposed his unwound neck to let the governor board his deck. I spied White's hex at work again, with a capstan broken, men in pain. His friendship I began to rue, to see the captain's crippled crew, the crew with broken bones and worse, care of White and his ebony curse.